right, so here's the tractor 4.5 years later and 370 service hours later. This thing is a workhorse. I make this thing do way more work than it really ought to. I really should have a compact tractor for a lot of things I do, but I can't afford a compact tractor, not at 25 grand. I got this one for $2. The lawn looks one hell of a lot better. This tractor takes real good care of this lawn. It whacked those weeds down and it cut through small trees. This thing was a real bush hog. I have the mower deck there. I pulled it off for the winter. I need to clean it and service it and lubricate it and all that and check the belt. No, I think I need to replace the belt before it goes back on. So in the early days, this property was so dicked up. It had so many dips and swirls. I was constantly sticking this thing. This is the John Deere 40-inch tractor bucket. I used to get stuck so often, I went ahead and I put a trailer hitch right here to hang a winch. So I put a 12-volt quick disconnect right there. It's wired directly to the battery. Same engine at 370 hours. I put a relay down there. And a winch controller. And I also set up a trailer hitch on the back that was originally intended for the winch, so I can pull myself frontwards or backwards. I had to put some tractor weights on here to give this thing some extra traction. Here's our backyard, and it too was chest high in weeds, but at any rate I want to show you that mound. I can drive that mound, and I go around, you know, like a racetrack, and curly cue it up. Anyway, so you see the angle, that slope. That's what I put all the weights on the uphill side, and I go in a clockwise direction. I have to mow along the roadway out there, and so I put these lights on here so I don't get run over by some hothead with a lead foot, and got them on the back. And the little black wagon. So this has been a really good tractor, except for the part at about 100 hours the transmission started slipping. And so I changed the oil in it, and it didn't help it a bit. And went online and I found out that the factory transmission, the hydrostatic transmission that comes with this, everybody bitched and moaned, and word on the internet is most lawnmower repair shops, they won't even attempt to fix them. They just throw them away, and they put a brand new $700 transmission in there. So I figured if I was going to spend $700 on a new transmission, I'd like to upgrade the transmission. So I searched, and I stumbled across a guy. He sold a kit to upgrade pretty much any lawn tractor to the K66. And I hated what I paid for the kit. God damn it, it was $1,900. I come real close. I mean real close to saying to hell with this and selling this thing. right up the road from here, there's a town with a dealership who's a Husqvarna dealer, and I was looking at their anyway, so it took me some fabrication to make a bracket to attach this here. Now this shovel is actually designed for the 300, 500 series, maybe the 700. So this is at 370 hours. Now I got rid of that oil drain port thing, that little plastic cap. It came off on me one time, and I didn't like it anyway because it didn't quite come out past the edge of the frame there, and so I was always dribbling all over the frame. So at any rate, so I put this hose on there, and that hose is worked great, and I just have just a hand tight, that's all it takes, and that works great. These are the holes for the, they make a cab for this thing, see, and I don't use it. Well, I don't have one because I'm not in snow country. But anyway, I just put this bracket over here. Man, this thing is so helpful. So you get this on there, and I hang other tools, and I had to have something to mount this to, and there's the switch for the lights. So I could actually turn these lights are controllable left and right, so I can use them as turn signal if I so desire. And you can't get underneath the to check the oil in the transmission. There's no way to do it. So I cut the body. I cut it and I put a piano hinge right there, and there's just 2 screws there, bolts. There's just 2 bolts on each side, and these 2 bolts, and the whole thing flips right up, and it comes up this high, and that's plenty. Oh, I have to pull the gas tank out of the way and set it on the tire, and then I could check my belt, and I can clean it and check the oil, and this thing's ready for an oil change. So tomorrow I'll be changing the oil, and that's one of the things I'm going to do. I'm going to open this thing up, and I'm going to check the transmission oil level. And they say go 200 hours. I don't know. Oil's cheap, so I change it every 50. And all I'm hurting is my wallet, and so I'd rather do it like that. So what this is for my garbage cans. I tip my garbage can, put the handle right there, and if I need to, see, I got an old screwdriver in there, and that locks the handle in case the bottom of the garbage can is too heavy, it won't flip up. And these things, they come right off, so I could take them off if I need to. And you see the trailer light pigtail, that's for the little trailer. As you see, it's got lights on it too, because when I go driving this thing up and down our road, because I do that now and again, I'll drive up and down the road and I'll collect trash that's blown out of people's trash can. It gets down in the ditch, and I don't want it to clog the ditch and cause rainwater to back up and cause some flooding. But anyway, this handle is for when I'm on that mountain in the back I was telling you about. When this thing gets to leaning, I got to hang on. But anyway, so this has been a nice little tractor. I really like it. When the builder was putting up the buildings on this property, they brought in a bunch of fill to fill in low spots, and he had some left over, and he just left it here, and it started from this stump right there, and it went all the way down here to this big ass tree, and man, it was really tall. I would say at the highest point is probably where that shovel is. If you'd stand that shovel up, that's about how high the highest point was. And little by little I've been moving bits of it. And I shared some with my neighbor across the road, and I shared some with my neighbor next door. She needs some. And basically I got all kinds of low spots around here in this property, and I've been putting them. But anyway, so the tractor's been moving all that. So I loosen it up with the pick, and then I come in and I jam into it with the tractor, and then back out, and then I use my shovel and then fill it up the rest of the way. My shovel, it only goes up and down a few inches. It's a clamshell type, so basically they can just scrape it up and then take it where you want, and then open it, and then it drops the contents. I used the tractor shovel to move all this gravel. There was a 3 cubic yard pile right here, and I gravelled the new shed mostly. And this tractor drags a lot of trees. This one isn't all that much. That tractor's drug some really monstrous sized trees I've taken out of our woods that had some dead ones here in the woods and over here, but I've chopped them all up. This is my log horse. You throw it up there and you put your chainsaw bar whichever place you want, and it's a real handy tool to have.